Greetings, Soulswind here, and welcome to Let's Play Total Annihilation. In the previous episode, we had managed to capture the Galactic's Gate, and that was such a pain to complete. This round, we are going on to Mission 5, and we had captured a gate. Does it mean we are going to travel to a different place since it's a galactic gate, a different planet? Yeah, actually we are, as you'll see soon enough. Mission 5's name is Barathrum. Let's go.
Using the Arm's own gate against them, the Corps commander carried the conflict back to the Arm outpost at Barathrum. Barathrum was a young, molten planet and had been a key strategic victory for the Arm due to its enormous wealth of mineral resources. Retaking it would be a heavy blow.
Mission 5.1 Core Intel. Barathrum is a hostile world. Its metals are necessary for core success. Establishment of a base is essential. Placement of metal extractors on metal deposits will increase metal extraction rate. Destroy all ARM units. Do so now. Alright, you can see the white flashing of this mission briefing telling us that we're supposed to build metal extractors on metal deposits, which will increase metal extraction rate. In fact, we can only build metal extractors on the metal deposits, otherwise the extraction rates will be almost zero. So that's the only choice we have. I mean, we can build on the floor, on the ground, but that really depends on the ground metal for this map, and it is never reliable. This is no longer a metal map, and no longer a metal planet. As you can see here, it's filled with lava, fire, and soil. And here we have a new scenery. Destroy all ARM units. Shall we go ahead and proceed? Okay. Wow, luckily it's paused. There are units here. Enemy units, I mean. Oh well. I don't think it's that bad, right? Let me check the game speed. Okay. Slightly better. Let's go. I think the commander can tank this damage, so I'll not use the D-gun. There's very good reason for not using the D-gun. That's 400 energy I cannot afford to lose. So I'll not use it. Well, I have played through before the mission, so I know the enemies are northwards. And from the previous missions, I found out that the enemies kind of take action around the 20-minute mark. So it will be unwise for me to, build too far away from the north, because then I cannot take out the enemy units, and they will do a lot of damage in terms of my gameplay time. So yeah. The least I can do is to build closer to the enemies. Okay, this mission, there's a lot of new units and buildings to introduce to everyone, so yeah, instead of delaying it any further, I'm gonna start soon. But before I introduce them, I'd just like to clarify that I will not introduce every single new unit or building available in this mission. We moved on to the new area, there are new units and buildings, but having them all introduced in this mission would make this video a tad too long for my liking. So I don't think I would want to do that. Instead, I will just introduce some of them, and those that have not been introduced, I will not build those either. So there will be no unfamiliar faces or unfamiliar graphics whatsoever seen in this mission. So yeah, I guess now's a good time because I want to keep this within 20 minutes before the enemies start to build again and this gets dragged on. Oh, one more thing. You saw this commander being tasked to reclaim metal, but while doing so it's pointing upwards and disrupting its task. As you can see here again, but of course now it's moving while pointing upwards. That is something that is very annoying, but is something that you must really take note of. Okay, I'm trying to look for a metal deposit. Yeah, the problem with this behavior is that while you task your commander to do certain actions, if there are units that fly above it, it will try to engage these units by pointing upwards and trying to fire at it, and obviously failing to do so because that one is a scout plane, which we will not build or introduce for us in this mission. But yeah, so take note that if you ask it to do certain things, it may get so distracted by things flying above it that it actually does nothing at all or gets delayed doing certain things. That could affect your gameplay progression. And it is affecting my video progression, so I guess now's a good time to start introducing some of the new units and buildings. The Punisher, a plasma battery, decently tanky defensive structure that seems to perform better at range. As such, it is very useful as a shoreline defense to weaken enemy ships from afar. Personally, I find it important not to take for granted the Punisher's tankiness and neglect repairing them. After all, it is definitely easier to repair a damaged one than to build a new one. DragonsTeeth, the perimeter defense, its sole purpose being to create a wall around any areas we want to protect, namely our base. And it has the right amount of tankiness to support that, having the highest health points amongst all structures, and in fact also triumphs over many units on this aspect. While being used to block off excess paths, DragonsTeeth can also successfully block most energy and missile attacks, but is less useful as a shield against plasma projectiles and some types of rockets or crawling bombs that detonate within the vicinity. Knowing this, we can be sure that the DragonsTeeth, or DT, also don't function well against attacks from a higher elevation. Once built, DragonsTeeth has no alignment towards any side of the battle. Thus, bear in mind that attacks from units and defensive structures placed behind the DTs will be subjected to the same trajectory criteria. Let's take a look at a couple more new units for the Advanced K-Bots lab. As a radar jammer, per its namesake, the Spectre jams radar. It can be used to mask the movement of a group of units, preferably K-Bots due to its movement speed. Thus, we can task it to escort a strike force behind enemy lines undetected by the enemy radar. There will be a vehicle equivalent of Spectre too for the vehicular strike forces. The Spectre produces 10 energy, but consumes a non-cumulative maximum of 10 energy if its jammer is on, or if it's moving, or both. Advanced Construction K-Bot is our first Tech Level 2 construction unit that opens up greater possibilities and gameplay with more advanced structures. Some of these structures, such as the resource structures, are of paramount importance, and we'll be introducing a few today. Also, I find the design of the Advanced Construction K-Bot to be very cool, and I had both great frustration as well as satisfaction constructing and animating my 3D interpretation of this unit. Finally, the Moho Mine, the advanced metal extractor, almost a must-have to win the game. It is our first tech level 2 structure that we're introducing here, and a very important one indeed. At a maximum production of about 19.1 to 19.2 metal per second on certain maps, the Moho Mine is an integral part of the economy and is what keeps the factories and construction units constantly producing. The disparity between amounts of metal in metal deposits become apparent in the Moho Mine, with poor metal deposits observed to produce only 2.5 metal per second, while Moho mines built on rich metal deposits were observed to produce up to 12.2 metals per second. On a non-metal map with good ground metal, the Moho mine can produce 9.7 metal per second in exchange for 12 energy per second without even being built on a metal deposit. Ever felt you don't get enough range on the radar tower and missed out on enemy movement? Fear not, the advanced radar tower is here to save the day. Long-range radar tower with a greatly enhanced range of about 172 grids. That's all. Get yours now at all local Tech Level 2 construction units. Alright, we're back. I'm just trying to use my commander to destroy some of the units, so even if the enemy wants to build up, they'll take a little bit longer to make a mess of this mission, like it did happen just last mission, so that we can have some peace playing this game and not have a very dragged out mission. Oops. Uh-oh. Looks like this is a no-go then. Okay, I have destroyed the enemy K-bot lab, but they had produced some units at a certain time marking or time stamp within the game and has already moved out those units to attack my base at the bottom. So it is time to produce some units and maybe defensive structures to guard against incursions. Well, I'll be needing quite a lot more of the energy production structures. Yes, the light laser tower is a good defense. What a waste of resources though on that. Uh-oh. Now that's bad. I don't have any anti-air units, but the enemy air units have begun attacking my base. So they do start moving around a certain time frame, such as 50 minutes for this round. Okay. I better repair this one while I start producing more anti-air units. And around 20 minutes mark for difficulty at hard, that's where the enemy starts to build. You see, I'm telling this commander to reclaim, but instead it is more focused on air units that are flying by. Look. So that's one thing that's bad. You probably have to change it to hold fire in order to allow it to focus on its tasks. So that's one very important thing to bear in mind. And of course, I need to repair the laser tower. While I have 2 anti-air units, this K-bot will be building 1 more anti-air defensive structure, I guess. Let the commander do the repair. It's almost 20 minutes. The enemy is about to start constructing units and structures and whatnot, so it is almost high time for me to move out and destroy more enemies. It's okay, I've got enough units to deal with that. And my commander is in good health to move out. Wow, look at the enemy Moho mine. If I can capture that, it would help greatly, wouldn't it? And that's one of the advanced vehicles that are available to us, but is what I'll not introduce as of now. Oops, where is the enemy? Oh, here. Oh well. Okay, you can see I'm struggling with the amount of metal that I'm producing. So yes, we have available to us new metal extractors, such as the advanced metal extractor, the Moho mine that I've just introduced. Yeah, but I need the advanced construction K-bot in order to do that, and that is a problem. My advanced K-bot lab was destroyed, so I'll capture their building and give us some much needed metal production. While we have enough units for now, so I will destroy their construction unit and hoping that that's the only one left. Yeah, basically by the 20 minutes mark, the enemies start producing and they will quickly overwhelm our own production. So I have to destroy their production units and structures in order to have enough time to introduce what we're about to see. New units, new buildings, and the likes of it. So eventually we'll have normal gameplay, use these units and keep the enemies in check, but for now I think this is the only way. We're always at a disadvantage. Hard difficulty is not that hard if we actually keep the enemy in check early on, but at the same time they tend to overproduce compared to us, so yeah. They tend to outproduce us, I mean. Okay, the advanced K-bot lab is almost ready for me to introduce the new buildings and whatsoever. But that is a very potent enemy to deal with. D-gun is by far the best weapon that you can use in the campaign mission. We have enough energy, but I guess I can still produce a few more. Yeah, namely the geothermal plant. Can I build multiple geothermal plants here? No. for this type of geothermal plants, you can only build one, and why not just build directly over it then? Oops. I think that's the last enemy, so destroying it might mean ending the game. I'm not trying to drag the game out or drag the episode out, but at the very least we should see some of these new buildings that we've introduced. So the construction K-bot is here. Let's get a Punisher. We'll see what it does. And let's get the DragonsTeeth, or the DragonsTeeth. So that's how. Oops, I think the game's ending, is it not? Oops, I better leave. Come on, leave this place. Yeah. That's the Punisher. Move the commander all the way down, lure it away. So basically this is what the DragonsTeeth is, and let's see, let's fire at something there. You see? It's blocked by the DragonsTeeth. Meanwhile, let's have an artillery K-bot do the firing. And there will be differences. Also from elevation, let's climb upwards, higher, to the high ground and try to fire. Apparently it's still being blocked. Because we're firing right behind it. Yes, this will pass over it. So units or buildings directly behind these DragonsTeeth are still somewhat protected, but not by much. Not by much, not March. What am I saying? Right, meanwhile, plasma projectiles behave differently, so let's take a look. They do fire over, unless you're telling them to fire right beside it, in which case it will hit some of the time, again based on the trajectory of the projectiles and the gravity of the map. The Punisher is almost done. Let's have the advanced construction K-bot build a Moho mine for us as well. Maybe here, will that be good? We're 28 minutes or thereabouts into the game. Okay, I'll quicken the game speed because why not? There's no danger. We're almost winning, so sure. And this takes some time to build, so I'm gonna get my commander back in action and try to help out with this while these others will help out as well. Okay, enough. Let's have an AK do some work. The Spectre or the radar jammer. And let's see how the Punisher fires. So this is how it fires. If we want to tell it to fire across this line, it doesn't really fire across. So due to the accuracy and whatsoever and the trajectory, but if you tell it to fire far over, it will. Okay, the Moho mine's about done. The last thing that was introduced was the radar tower. Oops, here it comes. Excuse me, build it, please. Was it too fearful? Come on. Oh, it's found this target, isn't it? And it's trying to attack this one, but hitting this instead. Okay, the Moho mine's getting 8.5 metal per second, but for now we don't really need it. And this advanced radar tower has such a great range that it encompasses the entire map, so you don't see the ring here. Alright, get up. It's chasing. Okay, suicide. Sure, why not? We'll have one more. And I'll show you how the advanced radar tower's ring looks like if we get to be lucky enough for this hammer guy to not wander into our firing line and suicide itself. Right, that's the last one to introduce. So let's put it here. Will that work? No, let's put it higher up here, and hopefully it doesn't cover the bottom part of the map. Definitely it will span across, so that's probably something that we don't have to think about. But downwards, if we build high enough, it may not cover the whole map fully, and we can then make a comparison between the two radar towers. Where did I tell it to build? Ah, that's still quite a distance. Come on, come on. This feels like artificially dragged out already. My apologies. This radar tower should then tell us where that hammer is, and we can go hunt it down. So get ready. Number 5. There it is, and yep, that's the range. So when built in the middle, it covers the entire map. Now that's all of the new units and buildings covered in this mission. You know what? Let me change the sound so that it doesn't acknowledge everything. Medium and visuals, text, medium. Yeah, it doesn't tell us everything. That's good. Okay, as mentioned last mission, dead units and buildings take on a different form of looks, but they can be further destroyed and become a rubble that produces even lesser metal than reclaimed, like this one. This was previously some kind of maybe like laser tower that looks like one, or some other units. So like for example this one, I can destroy it further to make it lose its shape and give lesser wreckage or lesser metal. This is 104 now. It will take quite a bit of damage though before it becomes a lesser rubble. Come on. Yep, there it is. So that one gives 52, half of what this one gives now. Alrighty. The hammer has gone out of sight already, so one. Okay, no need. Yeah, but the commander can actually build another radar tower on the fly. Okay, before this mission ends, what else do I need to cover? Oh yeah, instead of build, it's called nanolith. So that's something interesting. It's a technical term in the game, I guess. Using nanoparticles to lather certain things together, like the factories and units. Yeah. Anyway, that's the end of this mission, Barathrum, and I think it's fast enough, I hope. Yep. And before I end, the kill count, the losses, they're pretty clear cut, aren't they? So yeah, that's all I have for now. Have a nice day.